From the film director who holds a black belt in jiu-jitsu to the probably most outspoken podcaster holding one as well, here are some celebrities you didn't know train in martial arts. Let's start with someone behind the scenes. Guy Ritchie is a film director who doesn't need any introduction. I mean, he's the person in charge of making movies like Snatch, Sherlock Holmes, and The Gentleman. But that's just not it. Guy Ritchie knows a lot about a lot of different types of martial arts. In fact, he started learning karate when he was only 7 years old. But the black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that Renzo Gracie gave him in 2015 is his most impressive accomplishment. And guess what? RDJ and Guy Ritchie worked on the set of Sherlock Holmes together. As the saying goes, iron sharpens iron. What a surprise, right? Wait till you hear this next one. Demi Lovato. Yes, you heard that right. She sings and acts, but Demi Lovato has been interested in martial arts for a long time. In fact, she's been to UFC events and hit pads with some of the best fighters in the world, including the former UFC fighter Kong Lee. Not only that, but Guilherme Vasconcelos, a Bellator fighter, was her ex-boyfriend. What's more, during this one training session, she even knocked out the tooth of sports commentator Jay Glazer. Glazer says that at the time, he was even wearing a mouthpiece, so it looks like Demi can throw down a punch. So far as I can tell, her favorite form of martial arts is BJJ, and she practices it so much that she's taken her instructor on a tour with her.
Those mistakes turn into something really good, and you're like, oh, right? So it won't be perfect every time. So capitalize on the mistake, recover the position. Because what you don't want to do is try to go, I'm going to stick to that technique.
Since I'm talking about actors, you don't want to mess with them. Of course, Mickey Rourke makes the cut. Rourke has been in movies since 1979, but for all the time he spends in front of the camera, he also has a lot of experience in the ring. He was a serious amateur boxer for a long time and had a record of 27 wins and 3 losses. He even went pro and fought 8 times without losing, with 6 wins and 2 draws. Rourke was trained by the legendary boxing coach Freddie Roach for a while, but their relationship seems to have been a little rough because Rourke didn't show up to practice a few times. Mickey Rourke's face has changed a lot, and everyone knows about it, but his surgery started because of boxing. Boxing had hurt his face as early as the 1990s and had to have reconstructive surgery to fix the damage. Speaking of badass actors, how can I not mention Tom Hardy? You might remember him from The Dark Knight Rises, Peaky Blinders, and Venom. The Brit has a reputation for going to great lengths to prepare for his movie roles, and the same goes for his role as an MMA fighter. In the 2011 movie Warrior, Hardy played a vicious MMA fighter who had to fight his estranged brother in a $5 million MMA tournament. Hardy's preparation for the role was intense by any measure. In an interview with The Guardian, the actor said that he trained harder than the actual MMA fighters. He did 2 hours of boxing, then 2 hours of Muay Thai, then 2 hours of Jiu-Jitsu, then 2 hours of weightlifting, followed by choreography. That sounds like it's not even human, but when filming was done, Hardy didn't stop training. It sounds unrealistic, but when you're talking about Tom Hardy, what do you expect? But hey, this next name will surprise you. If I say Wiz Khalifa, you'll probably only remember him as a rapper, singer, and actor, but he trains in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You might be surprised to learn then that in addition to making music and spending $10,000 a month on marijuana, he also has time to train in martial arts. Wiz says that he began with BJJ and trained regularly for a few months, but when he started Muay Thai, he really got hooked, and he now trains for up to 3 hours a day. This includes pad work with the Muay Thai legend Saenchai. Wiz once told Joe Rogan that he has gained more than 40 pounds since he began training. From the pictures of him training, that number doesn't look like it has much fat in it. That brings me to this next celebrity, Robert Downey Jr. But hey, does it really surprise you that Iron Man can throw his hands? Well, in reality, RDJ started getting better at martial arts a few years before the first Iron Man movie came out. Since 2005, he's been training with a Wing Chun wooden stick dummy, which he says has helped him control his own some demons. Even though RDJ seems like he has his life together now, he's had a long and complicated history with the law, and that includes multiple arrests, a stint in prison, and some pretty serious struggles with drug abuse and addiction. He says that his Wing Chun training has helped him develop a lot of discipline, and he has a deep, long-lasting love for the art. Some of RDJ's Wing Chun skills were used in both his roles as Sherlock Holmes and Iron Man. During the filming of Sherlock Holmes, he spent a lot of time training with Eric Aram, who's well known for his Wing Chun skills. No wonder it all came together so naturally on the screen. But RDJ isn't the only person whose martial arts skills have helped him as an actor. Henry Cavill also practices MMA. Well, most people know the British actor for his role as Superman in the DC Extended Universe movies. Even though Superman isn't known for his grappling skills, it looks like Henry Cavill has given him a new move. Cavill practices Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu all the time.
What I would like you to do is punch me in slow motion. I'm gonna go flying back that way.
Does it have to be in slow motion?
Yes, it has to be in slow motion.
Oh, okay.
Please do not actually hit me, but punch me in slow motion.
And is often seen sparring with legends like Roger and Renzo Gracie. He's also done some boxing, but BJJ is what he really loves. In fact, in one interview, he said that jiu-jitsu has a way of kicking you in the rear end and teaching you things that make you love it. Truer words were never spoken, am I right? Oh, and this next celebrity is someone you aren't expecting. It's Jay Pritchett from The Modern Family. Ed O'Neill is best known for his roles in Married with Children and Modern Family, two very popular sitcoms. But even though he doesn't look much like a typical martial artist, he's a monster on the mats, even more so for a man in his 70s. In fact, Ed O'Neill holds a black belt in BJJ, and not just under any instructor. O'Neill got his black belt from Hoyan Gracie in 2007. Hoyan is a well-known member of the Gracie family, and he's known for being one of the people who brought BJJ to the United States. Okay, so maybe this one is a little bit of a cheat. I'm talking about Joe Rogan, the podcaster, stand-up comedian, and analyst. But Rogan is a famous person in his own right, and not just in MMA. Over the years, I've talked to a lot of fans who don't realize how many skills he has. Joe's been practicing Taekwondo regularly since he was a child. What's more, he said on his podcast that for many years, it was pretty much all he did. As he got older, he realized that Taekwondo alone wasn't enough to make him a well-rounded fighter, so he started training in grappling. Eddie Bravo, a jiu-jitsu master, taught him how to get his black belt. There are videos online of Rogan showing Georges St. Pierre how to do the sidekick turn. Now, GSP is one of the best mixed martial artists of all time. The fact that Rogan was able to help him improve his technique says a lot about how good he is. Well, there you have it. These were some celebrities you didn't know were trained in martial arts.